Welcome back to part 4 of the Twin Hearts series. As we have previously looked at the first 3 parts. Part 1 was the Invocation of Twin Hearts. Part 2 was the activation of the Heart and Crown of Twin Hearts. And Part 3 was the Prayer of St. Francis. And now we are moving into the 4th part, which is the AUM, chanting of the AUM and the closing prayer. With this series, with this part of Twin Hearts, it is more detailed, and I hope that you will feel the essence pour through you as we go through the words and chant the AUM. I also wish that those who are joining me will practice Twin Hearts on a regular basis. Twin Hearts for the beginners would be once a week perfect. Those who are continuing on and doing further practices, build it up to twice a week and then 3, and if you can, every day. I remember one of the teachers, one of the acharyas in 2009 mentioning, I think it was, I don't know which acharya it was. Anyway, the purpose was to do Twin Hearts every day for 3 months to watch your life transform. I have experienced that. I have done that. And the blessings do come, especially after 6 to 8 weeks. You will feel the transformation internally. You've got to remember that the challenges don't stop in life. There is always a power play of positive and negative. So even though you'll be doing Twin Hearts, life will get smoother for you. But as you go on the path and keep practicing, there will be tests, okay? And so the spiritual path is a serious one. And so you try and make it as light as you can. You try and laugh as much as you can. You try and smile as much as you can, and dance and have fun as much as you can, because that's where spirit really is, in the joy and the bliss of it. Okay, so I hope I just clarify that for you. So those who are starting out with Twin Hearts, please practice regularly. Exercise after and before and after, so there's no congestion. And of course, there is also the transmutation of sexual energy, which we suggest you do prior to Twin Hearts. Okay, so I think we'll start the 4th part now, and we are up to Master Choa Sui's words on. I will repeat his words. Silently chant the mantra Om. Chant the mantra Om 12 times. So at this point in the Twin Hearts meditation, we've just finished St. Francis of Assisi's prayer. And Master on the recording is actually chanting the Om for us on the CD recording or the MP3 recording. And the word Om, just to give you a bit of background on it, which probably most of you already know about it, is quite a powerful ancient word. It goes way back. In the Hindu scriptures, it's used, and probably in India today, it's used mostly as the main chant. And most mantras actually start with the sound of the Om. In the Bible, it is actually, the Om is equivalent to, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And that's the meaning of the Om in the Christian biblical sense. Also, the word Om, AUM, has 3-part aspect to it. There is consciousness in it, and it is very ancient. It is not something that's just being created, fabricated out of nothing. It's actually an ancient, powerful sound emanating through the cosmos. So it's a very esoteric, deep word. The parts to it that I like to share with you is that it has a creative force and a destructive force within it. Now, what I mean by that, destructive not in a negative sense, though, in the sense that it cleanses and energizes you on its own accord. The way Master Choa Su is using it in this particular point in the meditation is to anchor down the golden light more and more into your being as you meditate. So this Om, as he chants it 12 times, and there's a reason why he does it 12 times, it cleanses the bodies and it purifies the mind. So it cleanses the mental body. So all your vices that sit in the mental body, your weaknesses, they get cleansed by doing this. For example, if you're a cigarette smoker or something like that, it would help to cleanse it if you wish to give up smoking. Then it also, in the astral, it actually calms the waters, as I don't know if that makes sense, but the astral is a liquid form in some senses, and it's an emotional body. and emotions are related to water, and that's why I said calming of the waters. One of the teachers in the early days, I think it was Master Greg, 2001 or 2, was talking about seeing the sea, looking at the sea and seeing the still water with the moon on it, and watching that still water, so you become super still, and then you chant the Om, so your internal state becomes very still. So that's the power of the Om, to become super still, astral, in the astral body and the mental body. Now, with this chanting of Om, as Master Choa does the sound of it, there's a gap in between, and a lot of power comes down between the gap. And Master Choa always used to say, pay attention to the gap, the stillness, the silence, because there's power in there. That's where the golden light, the golden energy pours through, and it gives you sweetness, happiness, and love. That's the power of the Om. It also develops your intuitive body. So if you're in a stressful situation and you need to calm down, you chant the Om. And over time, over the years, as you chant the Om more and more, your intuition increases, because you're cleansing not only the mental, the astral, they're getting cleansed and energized. Now, so as you chant the Om, the mental body, which is the higher self, part of the higher self, which is usually the pituitary area, gets cleansed and energized, and that's where the intuition increases. It also builds the father aspect in you, the mental body, the strength of the will, so you can learn to control your astral. So the Om is very good for controlling and settling down the emotional body. As many of you may be aware, St. Paul in the New Testament in the Bible is one of the great initiates, and he spoke of love in the as being one of the main and the greatest of them all. Hope, faith, and love, but the greatest of them is love. And love is associated with the Om. It's an aspect of the Om. And I'm about to sneeze. Oh my God. The greatest of them is love, agape love. Now, he's not talking about erotic love, eros. He's talking about agape love. Agape love is a deed. It's an action. It's a good deed. And that kind of love is to do good. The way St. Francis of Assisi created a brotherhood, the way St. Clare created a following, Joan of Arc, Master Choa Sui's work, following the virtues, Ahadic Yoga, and the Reiki masters, and so on. They've all great initiates starting great work on the earth, and they all do it through love. The work spreads through love. So that's really important when you're chanting the Om, to remember that aspect. Okay, so as he chants the Om, he moves through and he says, be aware and let go. So he's talking about letting go. I remember in the early days when he used to tell us to let go, he'd actually make us fall back and have two people catch us to learn how to let go, because we were so rigid and fearful of falling over, that he goes, the only way you'll learn to let go, to have surrender, or to have sharanagati, which is super receptivity internally, is to let go. And this letting go involves literally letting go of the physical body, which means falling back and have people catch you. And that's the kind of letting go he was teaching us and physically making us do. So when you're doing the Om, when you're actually chanting the Om, and the gap in between, you let go, you let go, and you let go, and you go deeper and deeper. Okay, I hope that makes sense. And he talks about feel the bliss, feel the love, and feel the sweetness. That's the golden energy of the Om chanting coming into you. And then he says, slowly and gently move your fingers. We are going to release the excess energy. Gently raise your hands again at chest level with your palms facing outwards. So you're filled with gold and liquid light in your system now. And then you imagine the small earth in front of you, and you silently say, and this is in silence, let the entire earth be filled with divine light, divine power. Let the whole earth, every being be blessed. Let there be peace, harmony, progress, spirituality, and prosperity to all. Blessings be to all. Bless your country with divine light, divine power, with progress, spirituality, and abundance. Bless your city with peace and order, with spirituality, with divine love, and with prosperity. Bless your loved ones, your relatives, associates, your friends, with divine love, kindness, sweetness, with much affection. Blessings be to all. Then you gently put your hands down. We are going to, and then he moves into, we are going to release the excess energy by blessing Mother Earth. So you've got all this energy in the heart, the crown, the upper body. He wants you to become a full egg. egg-shaped aura. So the bottom, the lower part of your body needs to be just as full as the upper. He always talked to me, actually in 2001, he talked about being a solid pillar, like in the Greek architecture where you see the solid columns. I remember him talking about that and explaining how your crown chakra should be the same as the base chakra. In fact, all your chakras should be so aligned and solid like a pillar. And so it's really important to highlight this in Twin Hearts, that when you finish meditating, you anchor the light down into the earth, which increases your, which balances out the energies pouring through, so you become that pillar. So he says, be aware of your feet and the base of your spine. So he wants you to focus there and produce roots, visualize roots going deep into the earth. He says, be aware of your feet and the base of your spine. Imagine golden light going down to the earth about 3 meters or 10 feet deep. So he wants you to visualize your being going into the earth, beyond the soil, beyond the rocks, down into the soil, down deep, like really thick roots. And I remember once, this was interesting, in Burnley in the early years, I think 2003, Melbourne, where he was teaching us, and he said, many of you are ungrounded, you're doing spirituality, you look like mushrooms. Like all the upper chakras are quite developed, but the lower isn't. And of course, being spiritual, we always want to reach for the higher, but it's also, you got to remember that the foundations, the root chakra, the base, the sacral, they're all just as important as the upper chakras. You need foundations to be strong in your house, to be strong in your body in order to produce results on the earth. The Master Child was all about producing results and being number one in your field of work. So your base, your roots, your sacral have to be solid. So at this event in Melbourne in 2003, he actually made us ground very deeply. So we were doing the the rooting technique, which in Australia has a double meaning, but anyway. So at one point he stopped us and said, you know what, just pay attention. I'm going to put cement under your feet, see what happens. And when he did that, I couldn't move my feet off the ground. They were stuck to that position, to that earth. I felt so heavy, I couldn't even move, literally. I couldn't lift my foot off the ground. And then he released it and I was back to normal. But that made me see the solidness, the power of the base chakra and the roots in the earth being so solid, nothing can move. Okay, so when you're actually doing Twin Hearts, when you finish this and do this properly, if you do the rooting properly into the earth, you should be so solid that no one can push you over, yeah? Remember that. No one can push you over. In the sense of you're a pillar, you're solid, your foundations are strong. Be aware of your feet and the base of your spine. Imagine the golden light going down to the earth about 3 meters deep. He says 3 meters deep, but if some of you who are more advanced in the work, you'll notice that your roots will go deeper and deeper, okay? As you practice more and more, the power will go deeper. Bless Mother, and then this is where Mother Earth comes in, with nature, animals, the animal kingdom, the mineral kingdom that we love so much is blessed. And it says, bless Mother Earth with divine light, divine love, divine power. Blessings be to Mother Earth. Let Mother Earth be blessed. Let Mother Earth be regenerated. Blessings to our beloved Mother Earth. This is regenerating, rejuvenating Mother Earth. As you can see, there's a lot of incongruencies and conflicts on Mother Earth. And by the blessings that we give her, she's being healed. And then you do and that's the energy going into Mother Earth. So you're sending gold, pink and gold, especially the gold, into Mother Earth. So wherever you walk as a Twin Heart practitioner, you are sending light, holding light and walking into the earth. So when you walk on the earth, wherever you walk, light is being anchored. You are a channel between the heavens and the earth. You're a conduit between the heavens and the earth. So you actually anchor the light into the earth. That's how the golden age is going to come about, by us individuals, little groups doing the work all over the globe. Okay, so that's the blessing. The roots have to be strong, solid, indestructible, strong into the earth, that no one, if someone comes along and tries to push you, you don't move. That's how solid you have to be. That's how I was trained by him. And that shows results in business. That shows results in your finances and how you materialize things. Without having strong base and sacral and sex chakra, so more the base being solid, if you have a strong base, you'll be able to attract money easily. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so as much as the crown and the gods are important of the higher spheres, so is the mineral and the plant kingdom looking after it and blessing the earth. These are both ends of the scale are important. Yeah, the pillar is solid. Now the last part is thanksgiving, invocation. So Master Chokkok Sui at the end of the meditation goes back and says a thanksgiving prayer. He always goes back and says thank you, because you've got to remember, you just completed Twin Hearts. Golden energy has come into your sphere and is liquid gold around you, whether you're aware of it or not. And there's a lot of divas and a lot of angelic beings hanging around as you do this more and more, who actually like it, like your energy. And they're full of sweetness and they're full of beauty and grace, and it's delicious. Oh God, it's delicious. And so you have to show thanks to these invisible forces, because they're constantly around us. Most of us are just not aware, or not clairvoyant, or not receptive enough to it yet. But as you practice, you will be. So he goes back and he says, to the Supreme God, we thank you for your great, great blessings, because everything comes from God, as I mentioned in the first part of this series. To the Divine Father, Divine Mother, we thank you for your divine blessing, your divine bliss, and these priceless blessings. Now, these are priceless blessings. I understand what he meant by that. To my spiritual teacher, MCKS, to the Lord Christ also for me, to all the spiritual teachers, to all the saints, holy angels, spiritual helpers, especially to the angels of love, because Twin Hearts is all about the angels of love, and all the great, great ones. Thank you for your great, great blessings. So you thank them because the blessings have come. They're in the subtle forms, but they'll eventually anchor into you and physicalize, as everything starts first in the subtle spheres and materializes in the physical later. And that's Twin Hearts, and that's the power of Twin Hearts. Materialization of your wishes, if you use it for that, or for the blessing of a project, or for the blessing of the earth, or for a blessing of a company, or for a blessing of a family, blessing of a relationship. You can use Twin Hearts for many, many, many different purposes. I actually have had Twin Hearts play in my house constantly for cleansing and energizing my whole area. So you can use it for many things. I hope this has been of value to you. I am deeply in love with God and the great ones, and I have a very deep connection with the White Brotherhood, MCKS and company, and the Christ and the order that is working with me. I hope that you have gotten something out of this, and that you'll go back to Twin Hearts with a deeper understanding. And when you do have a deeper understanding, you'll do it more willingly. You'll do it more with excitement, and not feeling that it's a task, but it's more of an excitement of, oh my God, I'm being fed. My soul is being nourished. And that's what it does. That's exactly what it does. That's why I have never stopped Twin Hearts in the last 18 years. I've been blessed to have great teachers physically around me, and it is my way of passing this blessing forward, to sharing what has been given to me. Thank you once again for your time. I will be looking at other subjects and other areas in the esoteric fields, spirituality, sensuality, and sexuality down the track. I hope you will follow my YouTube channels, and if you have any questions, please email me. I would love to share. God bless you. Have a beautiful day, and everything's beautiful. Take care. Bye.